my child, my beloved, even as I whisper these words to you, the realm of darkness is once again trying to pull this message away from your reach. I can see their hands moving quietly, blocking signals, distorting emotions, and sending distractions, attempting to convince you that this is nothing more than noise. But you need to get something straight. This isn't noise. This is the one moment that heaven fought to keep just for you. This message was pushed away from you many times by the enemy, who put up invisible walls to block your view. God himself saw this. Still, it's here, reaching your soul right now. Are you sure that was just an accident? No, my kid. There was divine intervention there. Wait a moment, and then answer with faith. Type Amen in the comments below if you think this message came to you through divine timing and not chance. Let this be your statement. You know that heaven is talking to you right now. Also, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will make your path even clearer. Before you leave this message, remember something important. The gospel travels through willing people. If this message blessed you, you can help carry it further. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or joining our Ko-fi community, you help this mission continue reaching hearts across the world. Your generosity becomes a voice that speaks to someone who feels forgotten. It becomes a light for someone who has wandered too far from truth. There are souls searching right now for hope, for clarity, for Jesus. When you give, you become part of the message that finds them. You may never meet the people your gift reaches, but heaven records every life touched through your obedience. If God has placed this mission on your heart, take a moment and sow into it today. Together we can keep the gospel moving forward. That is your name being called out in the courts of heaven. That is a message that can't be sent to anyone else. Just you, or right now, in this very second. My beloved child, this is what I need to say before I go on. Sign up now. This is not an idea. This is your defense. Because the messages that come next will tell you more about your future, your money, your love life, your calling, and the family member who has been praying for you without you knowing. These messages are meant to keep you safe, but they can only reach people who are still open. Right now, stop everything and make sure you're subscribed. This is how you make sure you get the divine guidance your future needs. Archangel Michael is not here to have fun. I was sent to you because something that you have been asking God about is already taking shape in the next world. This message is the confirmation that you didn't know was coming tonight. The books in heaven will stay closed until the time comes when a name is highlighted in divine gold. My child, my beloved, that name is yours today. Do not forget how important this truth is. It has been 5 times already that this message has been sent to you, and every time something stood in the way. Every time doubt crept in. Every time something else caught your attention. Each time a hidden force kept your spirit just out of reach of what could have turned things around. Tonight, though, heaven made a different choice. God's hand got through. No, not because you were great, not because you begged. In places where words couldn't explain, your spirit groaned in silence. Heaven heard it. Because you are strong, this message did not get to you. It came because you were in pain. Someone has been praying for your downfall. My child, my beloved, I did say it. Their plan began to fall apart as soon as you opened this message. They don't even know that the angelic sword has already been drawn to help you. They thought that if they swayed the people closest to you, they could get into your life without anyone noticing. But God said, "Enough. That's why I'm whispering this to you now." Others have used your silence as a weapon, and they have thought that your kindness is a sign of weakness. But not anymore. You are not made to suffer in silence while other people take what is rightfully yours. A reversal is being sent out by Archangel Michael. The pattern of losing, being late, and being lied to is ending. You have to believe it, though. It starts with you not scrolling past what heaven yelled you to see. You have no idea how important this timing really is, my child, my beloved. Within the next 12 hours, there is a meeting. Yes, a choice is being made about your name, your money, and your movement right now as you read these words. You might miss the divine instruction that turns everything around in your favor if you wait to respond spiritually. It's not about being scared. It has to do with alignment. Someone who used to stand by you is now working against you by saying nice things that are actually spiritual poison. Their conversations sound like they care, but what they're really after is what God has put inside you. But heaven has shown it. This message reveals who they are. You will see something amazing happen if you follow the direction that comes after this whisper. Even your enemies won't be able to deny that it came from God. There is more, much more, my child, my beloved. But I won't give you the next revelation until you promise to listen to this whole message. The enemy loves it when you take their attention away from them. They don't have to kill you. They just have to hold you up. They don't have to directly attack your life. They just need to keep you busy for long enough that you miss the time. Don't let that happen once more. Your every pause was time that you lost. Now, though, heaven is keeping track of every second that passes. There is a breakthrough in the air around you that is both spiritual and financial. It was okayed 3 weeks ago. It was meant to get to you. But there were people around you who couldn't carry it. So it stopped. But now, the divine guidance has done some more math. It's coming back. You are being told not to let go of this signal this time. You are reading this right now, because heaven didn't give up on you, my child and beloved. All of these things are still true, because God told them to be. You are still here, breathing and hearing my whisper. You thought there was silence, but it was really spiritual interference. You thought there was delay, but it was really the enemy trying to silence the only thing that could wake you up in time. This is more than just a message. In secret, it's a miracle. The door is about to open wide, and you didn't even knock on it. People who betrayed you will finally understand why their plans didn't work out when it does. They fought a child that God had marked. They tried to steal from a soul that was being watched over by Archangel Michael. Now, though, justice has been done, and the judgment will be silent, but unstoppable. You were never crazy for thinking something was wrong, my child, my beloved. You weren't crazy when you felt that weight in your heart, that tightness in your chest, and knew that someone close to you wasn't telling the truth. That was a prediction. That was heaven trying to talk to you in a way that words can't explain. The mask of someone is about to fall off. Though they laughed with you, they talked badly about you. They helped you once, but they've been hurting you over and over again in ways you can't see. You loved them, gave them things, and kept hoping for the best. But God is now making a decision. At this point in time, He will no longer let the people He sent to bless drain His chosen ones. You are taking a step to protect yourself. There is a wall of fire rising around your name, your health, your money, and who you are, my beloved child, my beloved child, my beloved child. I'm going to say something very clear that might shock you. Before this message got to you, someone tried to stop it. They have been watching, but you don't know them. They have been following your energy, watching your growth, and trying to connect spiritual surveillance with your movements to keep an eye on you. They don't have to be in your house. Doors don't matter to ghosts. Their power is weakening now that you've opened this, though. Why? God's light always reveals hidden shadows. As soon as you decided to listen to this instead of ignoring it, the chains they were holding together started to break. Now you can see their plans for what they really were. Ways to keep you small. You're not small, though. You have been picked. This is the time you were chosen to be here, and what you're getting now is more than just restoration. For everything that was stolen while you were away, this is your reward. You have been carrying pain through life that wasn't meant for you, my child, my beloved. Because you were made with compassion, you took on the load. It was wrong of you to forgive when you should have left. You gave when you should have kept your cool, and heaven doesn't punish you for that. It's an honor. Now, though, it evens things out. Now on, God tells you to stop bleeding for people who wouldn't put a bandage on you if you were hurt. You no longer need to neglect your spiritual needs. The reward that was held up because of the faulty connections is now moving again. I get it. A divine package full of hope, sealed with your name and led through realms of resistance by angels. It is coming straight at you, but it won't stick if you go back to what hurt you. You have to pick alignment over attachment this time. Do not mix up peace and silence, my child, my beloved. Someone hasn't become more helpful just because they've become quiet around you. I'm whispering this because someone close to you has been saying your name in places you weren't, and not in the way you wanted. When they talk to you, they say nice things, but when they talk to other people, they say mean things. But don't be scared. God let you keep walking with them, so that when He finally tells you the truth, you will have proof beyond a doubt that your discernment was right. When it does happen, don't get angry about it. Respond from a distance. This is because the miracle that is being given to you is not for everyone else. This is for the faithful you who stayed true even when no one else saw. You are getting something for that part of you. You are being asked to show that part of yourself. That's why this message had to fight its way through all the spiritual walls to get to your spirit right now. Let me say this in a soft but urgent way to my child, my beloved. Some people will only come around when they think something good is going to happen for you. Trust me on this. That isn't a mistake. It's a spiritual search. There are people who can feel promotion in the air, and instead of celebrating you, they circle you. It's not because they want your happiness, but because they want your share. But pay close attention. They won't get close to it this time. Your blessings are being sealed by heaven. which is putting up a fence of fire around what is being prepared for you. That's why the attacks got stronger before this point. Because of this, confusion hit you like waves out of the blue. The enemy knew something bad was going to happen, so they sent you spiritual fog to make you feel lost until things became clear. Now look at you. You weren't stuck. You didn't give up. You read the one message that got through all 5. And as you hear this, the fog will clear up and your eyes will see things more clearly than ever before. My child, my beloved, your name is written on a scroll in heaven, and every delay you had was written down. Every time you were wrong, even when you were right, you walked away quietly so that peace could last. Now holy recompense is being added to that scroll. The reward for the pain you didn't hurt back. The silent blessing you gave for your loyalty. The restoration of the strength you didn't even know you were showing as other people watched you bleed. You will no longer have to show anyone how valuable you are. God is about to do something in your life that'll answer all of their insults without you having to say a word. Right now, there is a shift. This message is more than just a story. That's a sign. This is the kind of message that only your spirit can understand. If you're still reading, that means your spirit is awake, alive, and ready. I want you to get ready, my child, my beloved. Divine visitation is on the way. I saw or dreamed it, but it was through a person. You are being sent someone you didn't expect, and what they bring will start the next part of your calling. But watch out. The enemy will first try to send a fake, someone who seems helpful but drains you, someone who talks like support but acts like sabotage. You need to keep your spiritual senses sharp. Archangel Michael wasn't sent to make you laugh. I was sent to teach you how to do the next thing. What comes next is full of destiny, but is shielded by divine design. That's why the time this message comes out is important. You wouldn't be ready if you had opened it earlier, but now you are. You're hurt, but not broken. You've been held up, but not turned away. You've been misunderstood, but you've never been lost. This point turns something on. My child, my beloved, the person you thought would stand by your side is the one who has been quietly pulling away from you. They are interested in your next move and want to know if it will still include them. It's what God does, though. He is about to put you so high that it will show who was climbing with you and who was holding on to you. Don't worry about being seen. This is holy. It is always God who separates when he raises up. An ending is on the way that might seem like a loss at first, but it's really just making room. There should be more room for new people, more room for purpose that is aligned, and more room for destiny carriers. Before the party, this is the clean sweep. People who used to call you crazy will soon call you favored. My beloved child, my beloved child, my beloved child. No one else saw you, but I did. They looked at you funny, changed the subject, or made you feel bad for feeling what you were feeling when you tried to tell them what was going on. But you were always right in what you thought. You were the first to notice the change. Changes in energy, the weight of the words, and the silence that became louder than the talking all at once were all felt. You didn't say anything because you didn't see it, but because you hoped God would fix it before you had to leave. Pay close attention now. The people in heaven heard your silence. Because you were patient, Your name is written in places you never thought possible. What's coming to you won't be held up by people who didn't value your loyalty. You still have a destiny, even though they caused you shame. It got you a level of favor that can't be taken away by betrayal. Someone is watching your journey, but they don't seem to care. My child, my beloved, it sounds like they've moved on when they talk. They act like they don't care, but deep down they want you to fall. They didn't want you to rise up without them. If they didn't say anything, they thought that the lack of their voice would keep you stuck in the past. It wasn't what they thought, though. Heaven would give you new wind. You would grow even without their help. You would shine even when you were sad, and you would last longer than every silent curse they spoke out of jealousy. This message shows that you did not break. Even better, it's the start of what God is going to break for you. There were limits, money problems, and cycles that kept happening. In the spirit, something is breaking, and I was sent to see it. Now more than ever, my child and beloved, you are close. The enemy knows about it. That's why temptation has grown. That's why confusion tried to make it hard for you to see. Now you understand why some doors shut, even though they looked perfect. They were fake blessings meant to slow you down. You didn't fall for it, though. God is now giving you a reward that is greater than what you asked for because you refused to give up. You prayed to stay alive. God is bringing about revival. You prayed for peace. As a beginning, God opens the door. You prayed for help. Alignment is coming from God. And it starts with this moment, this word, this whisper, this breath of heaven hidden in a voice that got through 5 times of being blocked. This is not a mistake. This is divine clearance, and it marks you with a favor that can't be taken away. There is a reason your spirit keeps telling you to listen more, my child, my beloved. There is a reason for that tug, that inner knowing. It's destiny knocking on your soul's door. That voice and message have come and gone before, but this one is different. This one brings back something you lost. Your clarity. You've been living in a fog lately, doubting your path and your prayers and trying to figure out if how you feel is real or just tiredness. And I'm here to prove it. That which you feel is real. Your mind is not what you are fighting. It's being strong. Your family tree has been held hostage for generations by a cycle that you are breaking. For this reason, the battle seems so close to home, but God knew you could handle it. Not because you're perfect, but because you want to. And being willing is where miracles are born. Someone tried to get this word to you before the storm did. My child, my beloved, heaven gave permission for this message to be sent, and then forces of distraction were sent out around you. All of a sudden, someone needed your help. Lost things started to show up. You felt like your peace was broken without warning. That wasn't a mistake. It was a problem. When something powerful is coming, the spiritual world always gets tense. You are now in the middle of that power. The air around you is changing every second while you listen to this divine whisper. The walls that made it hard for people in high places to say your name are coming down. The curses that were said about your progress are coming true. Something that has been shut for years is now slowly opening again. This happened not because of a person or a plan, but because your obedience brought God to you. And that power is something that nothing can fight. You were never meant to be stuck. You were supposed to wake up right now, and the sky patiently waited for you to come. You, my child, my beloved, have been through times when you gave everything and got nothing back. You gave up things for people who couldn't even be faithful for a week. You didn't say anything to protect reputations that didn't expect your kindness, but God saw everything, and the rewards didn't come right away, but they're about to come all at once. When God fixes things, He doesn't match your work. He makes it bigger. Things shouldn't surprise you when they start to fall into place quickly. You shouldn't be surprised when people say sorry for nothing. When unexpected money starts coming in like waves, don't doubt it. Your seeds were tears, but you're about to harvest them with shouts. Other people rushed while you waited. You believed when others laughed at you. Now heaven says, now it's your turn. We all agree that this is a very important moment. In the comments, write, I receive my blessing, if you are ready to receive what heaven has planned for you. Picture yourself moving into the season that God has already planned for you as you type it. God often moves through people who are willing to partner with His work. If this ministry has encouraged you or helped you grow closer to Christ, you can help extend that same message to others. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by donating, buying a coffee, or becoming a Ko-fi member, you become part of this evangelistic mission. Your support helps us continue sharing messages that point people back to Jesus. Some are discovering faith for the first time. Others are finding their way back after years away. Your generosity helps make those moments possible. When believers come together with a shared purpose, the gospel spreads further, faster, and stronger. If you feel that call today, consider partnering with us and helping this mission reach the next soul who needs hope. Someone special in your life has noticed the change in your spirit. My child, my beloved. They might not say it out loud, but they know it. No longer can they guess what you'll do. They used to read your mind, play with your hopes, and say just the right amount of sweet things to keep you tied down. Now, though, something has changed. You have split off. You're bigger now, and they can feel their hold on things weakening. That's why they might try to show up again soon. Don't let it fool you. They're not coming back to help your soul. They are coming back to stop your progress. It is spiritually okay for them to test your discernment. No, this is not a punishment. It's proof that you got the job. There is a final test for every new level. It's being passed right now, just by reading this, by staying awake while everyone else sleeps, by letting your spirit stay alert while other people choose to be blind. That's why a spiritual reward is being sent to you right now as these words reach your heart. Do not let this become your identity, my child. My beloved, you have been carrying something that was never meant to be you. A wound that changed the way you think. A silence that made you feel like you were important. A memory that comes back to you in quiet times and makes you think about how hard it was to get through things that other people didn't even know you went through. I was there, though. As everything around you fell apart, I saw you keep yourself together. People in the room couldn't see your pain as I watched you sit still. I said in a whisper to heaven, "This one is stronger than they look. Now pay close attention. There is a reward coming your way because of your strength, your silent faith, and your loyalty that no one praised. It can't be explained by work or logic. This is the kind of blessing that comes to you, not because you looked for it, but because heaven did. Angels are moving dates around on your calendar right now that you haven't seen yet, my child, my beloved. For divine timing, a meeting you thought was going to be pushed back is actually being moved. Someone is already writing in their heart a message you thought would never come. The deal, the healing, the chance, they are still there. Being in sync with the new version of yourself is all it is. This is the version of you that is stronger, clearer, and no longer willing to put up with things that are bad for your soul. These changes are happening because of this. That's why old habits feel heavy all of a sudden. What you used to put up with is no longer a match for you. And heaven knew about that inner shift as soon as it happened. The mood in your room started to change. The same you that used to feel like you weren't seen is now drawing everything that used to pass you by. Why? For the first time, you are walking in sync with your divine frequency. That's the sound that heaven hears. My child, my beloved, I need to say something that might shock you right now. Someone close to you knows more than you do about your delay. An obstacle has been in the way of your name. And while you were praying, someone was talking behind your back. They know each other. That's what makes it risky. They had access, which gave them power, and that power came with poison hidden behind smiles. Don't worry, though. Heaven knows more than that. Heaven has stepped in. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to let them know. Their actions can already be heard in the spiritual world, and justice has already begun. But you need to do this. Do not say anything and stay true. Don't match their speed. Do not put out the same fire. Just keep going straight ahead. Because your next blessing will be heard louder than their sneaky plots to hurt you. You have reached the turning point. My child, my beloved, this is the time when old patterns start to fall apart and new ones start to form, whether you are ready or not. But keep this in mind. Being ready was never a requirement. You were willing to. You were willing even though you were tired. Even though the future looked like fog, you were still willing. Even though everything else in your life was trying to get your attention, you opened this message. This is why you are hearing something that not many people can hear. The sound of your own restoration coming closer. It's not very loud. It's not exciting. It's holy, quiet, and strong. The sound you hear is heaven giving you back things that were taken from you. It sounds like peace is coming into places that have been crazy for too long. And the sound of your name being called out in places where choices are being made that you haven't even been to yet. You were never crazy for thinking something was wrong, my child, my beloved. Feeling like someone close to you is lying, that heavy feeling in your heart, and that feeling that something is not right, was not paranoia. That was a prediction. Heaven was trying to talk to you in a way that words couldn't explain. The mask of someone is about to fall off. Though they laughed with you, they talked badly about you. They helped you once, but they've been hurting you over and over again in ways you can't see. You loved them, gave them things, and kept hoping, but God is now making the decision. At this point in time, He will no longer let the people He sent to bless drain His chosen ones. You are taking a step to protect yourself. There is a wall of fire going up around your name, your health, your money, and who you are. I have to warn you, my child, my beloved, in a soft, but firm way. The enemy went crazy as soon as you opened this message. There is a spiritual system that is trying to keep you from seeing clearly. They know that if you read this whole message, you will find out something they have been keeping from you. Expect to feel tired quickly. Be ready for interruptions and distractions. You might have thoughts like, maybe this isn't for me, or I'll come back later. Don't let it fool you. You are reading something that only has your name on it. No one else would know what it's unlocking. They weren't there when you cried quietly on your pillow. They were not there when you begged God to just show you something. That sign is here. Do not leave the thing you secretly cried for. People who used to help you are now trying to take your name off of things that belong to you, my child and beloved. But heaven is pulling back the curtain. There's no need to fight. You won't have to beg. Now that your eyes are open, someone can't take what is rightfully yours. But be careful as you walk. A big change in your finances is about to happen. Not expected, out of the blue, not logical, and it will make everyone around you show how loyal they are. Do not look at their faces. Look into their spirit. So far, God has shown you who is on board with your purpose and who is only interested in your progress. The next few days will show a lot. You will hear news that will put you right where heaven wants you to be. Some of it will shock you, and some will leave you speechless. I need to say this right away, my child, my beloved. Tonight, in the courts of heaven, the same voice that is whispering to you now will say your name. Someone is keeping an eye on you. I went to the meeting where your name was brought up. I heard the accusations made against you behind your back. I also saw the moment when God hit the table with his hand and said, "Enough. My child will get up. You need to know how rare this is." A message like this doesn't get sent to everyone. Some people are not meant to have divine clarity. There is something great that still has your name on it if you were picked. That's why the enemy fought 5 times to stop this message. That's why you've been feeling spiritually pulled lately. Because something bad is going to happen to you, and God wants you to know about it before it does. This is proof that God sees you, my child and beloved. If you ever had any doubts, this is it. If you've ever wondered if your pain was really there, this is the answer. This is the thing that kept you going when you felt like giving up but couldn't. This message is not a fluke. It sounds like an alarm, a trumpet, or a scroll. As your guardian angel, I tell you that after today, everything will be different. A restoration zone is what you are entering. But for every good thing that comes along, a wall needs to be put up. People who used your silence against you will no longer be able to speak. The people who made money off of your pain will be found out. People who laughed at your prayers will see your miracle. That being said, you must first keep listening to what heaven is telling you. Right now, my child, my beloved, things are happening in the spiritual world that you can't see with your eyes, but can feel in your spirit. You have been feeling this pressure that you can't see, feeling tired even after taking a break, being pulled in different directions that you can't explain, having a heavy load without a good reason. That's not something you made up. That's spiritual resistance, the kind that a chosen one faces right before they break through. And it's not your strength that scares the enemy the most. It's how you align. The enemy will lose all the ground they thought they had as soon as you align with what God is showing you now. This is why the attacks got worse. That's why people you trusted all of a sudden became jealous. This is why the things you worked so hard on seemed to move more slowly. In no way was it punishment. It was for safety. What was coming at you had to be stopped by God until He could give you this message without it being hacked again. My beloved child, your name has just been written on a new page in a book in heaven. There are still old pages, but they are not the main focus anymore. You didn't know this. 5 delays were made so that 5 truths could be taught. There was no denial in the delay. Divine recalibration was taking place. You had to go through what you did so that you would really value this moment when it came. You're not the same person you were a year or a month ago. One word is written across the top of this new page, unblocked, and under that title are the names of things that were kept from you because of other people's intentions. 1 with someone, a reward, something. Now they're coming out again, but this time only to you. Not given to anyone else, not stolen, not held up, just yours. Because heaven can't change its mind about marking something as only for you, not even darkness. I want to say something very clear that might surprise you, my child, my beloved. This message was blocked before it got to you. They have been watching, but you don't know them. They have been following your energy, watching your growth, and trying to connect spiritual surveillance with your movements. To keep an eye on you, they don't have to be in your house. Doors don't matter to ghosts. However, their power has been broken now that you have read this message. Why? Because hidden shadows are always made visible by God's light. The chains they were trying to break started to break as soon as you decided to listen instead of ignoring them. Now you know what their plans were. They were attempts to keep you small. You're not small, though. You have been picked. You were chosen just for this moment. It's not just restoration that's coming your way now. This is your reward for everything that was taken from you while you were asleep. That person in your life has noticed the change in your spirit. My child, my beloved, my child, my beloved. They might not say it out loud, but they know it. No longer can they guess what you'll do. They used to play with your feelings and hopes and say just the right amount of sweet things to keep you close. Now, though, something has changed. You have split off. You're bigger now. And they can feel their hold on things leaving. That's why they might try to come back soon. Don't let it fool you. They're not coming back to help your soul. They are coming back to slow you down. It is spiritually okay for them to test your discernment. No, this is not a punishment. It's proof that you got the job. There is a final test at the end of each level, and you're already past it by reading this, by staying awake while everyone else sleeps, by keeping your spirit alert while others choose to be blind. That's why a spiritual reward is being sent to you right now as these words reach your heart. You have been dreaming about a place, my child, my beloved. Your soul goes there when your body is still. It's not a dream. You're not crazy. That spot is real. It's the way things will be in the future. You've already seen parts of it in your dreams, in your mind, and in feelings that you couldn't quite put your finger on. In your mind, you've been to places that you haven't been able to reach yet. Now, heaven is making things happen so that the vision comes true. If things start to move quickly, don't be scared. Don't fight the momentum just because it's new to you. What makes you feel bad is not a threat. Destiny calls for it. You are now closer than ever to the place you imagined and the future you felt. This message is the last word of confirmation. A release was asked for. A door was opened. And your name is on the scroll that the angels are carrying now to your future. Right now, someone in the spiritual world is talking about you. My child, my beloved, angels are singing your name, and the enemy is very angry because they did everything they could to stop your destiny. They sent after ours. The message was betrayal. They used voices you knew to make you doubt them. Even though there was a lot of noise, you never gave up. That's why the kingdom of darkness thinks you are dangerous. Because you were good, God didn't pick you. You were picked because you have something special on you. When your heart is broken, you still believe. A faith that whispers yes even after things go wrong. That's why the reward you get will not look like any other. It won't be simple to explain. People who thought they knew the limits of your story will be confused by what is about to happen in your life. Based on what they saw, they threw you out. God wrote you in, though, because He knows you. My beloved child, you need to know that something you prayed for is being given to you first in secret. These days, heaven's biggest miracles happen when no one is around. You will feel the change in your spirit before anyone else does. You might see little signs. People are getting farther apart for no reason. Opportunities disappearing all of a sudden. You're having feelings that make you think more deeply than usual. Do not miss these signs. They show that the old is going away and the new is coming up. This is the holy place where alignment takes the place of chaos, presence the place of stress, and revelation the place of reaction. You don't have to chase anything anymore. The things that belong to you are drawn to you. You have already done the hard part. For some reason, you held on even though you didn't know why. Now heaven doesn't hold anything back. We haven't forgotten about you. You are being made. I was sent to tell you, Snow, something that other people were afraid to say. My child, my beloved, you're not behind. You're not cursed. It's not too late. You're not too broken. There was divine protection behind what looked like a delay. What felt like failure was actually God keeping you from being seen too soon. Now that the enemy thinks you are forgotten, God is about to surprise them with a quiet rise. The message won't come through loud and clear. Moving will happen in a quiet way. When they come back one day, you won't be where they left you, and they'll be amazed at how fast you got so far. However, they will not know that you were listening to divine time while they watched timelines. And divine time can't be changed. It can only be followed. And that's exactly what you did. You held out. You gave up. You read this message even though there were other things that told you not to. And because of that, things have just changed in heaven to help you. A table is being set for my child. My beloved, you've heard that before. You didn't know that it was being made in front of your enemies, not after they left, though. You won't be blessed until God gets rid of all the people who hurt you. They can watch Him, not to make them feel bad, but to show them who you really were the whole time. That you were picked, that they kept you safe, that heaven was with you even though it looked like you were walking by yourself. Your enemies will see more than just your rise. They will be there to see your redemption. They will see the beauty they tried to hide. They try to turn down the light. Also, the doors they try to lock will open on their own, because God doesn't need their permission to carry out His plan. You only had to say yes. You did it anyway, even though it hurt. It was quiet, and no one praised your obedience. Now every act of faith that we haven't seen yet is about to be answered in a way we can see. There is a silent prayer that is about to be answered. Please type Amen in the comments right now if you believe that it is. Make a deal with heaven that you are ready to receive what God is sending your way. You are not the only one who gets this message. There are other people who want to hear the same truth that made you stronger. Jesus said in the Gospel of Matthew 9:37 that the harvest is plenty. Giving to this cause through Buy Me a Coffee is like joining the harvest. Your gift helps the truth get out there. It makes believers stronger. It gets to people who are quietly pleading for help. In Gospel of Luke 6:38, Jesus showed a kingdom exchange when He said, "Give, and it will be given to you." What you let go of goes into God's plan, and what goes into God's plan grows. You are planting for salvation, restoration, and renewed faith when you buy a coffee. Now is your chance. Take a faith-filled step forward. Put your money into what God is building, and trust Him to breathe more than what you let go of. Someone you thought would stand by your side, my child, my beloved, has been quietly pulling away from you. Their eyes are on you to see if your next move will still involve them. It's what God does, though. It will be clear who was climbing with you and who was just holding on to you when He puts you in this position. Don't worry about being seen. This is holy. It is always God who separates when He raises up. Coming up is a separation that might look like loss at first, but it's really just making room. Room for new people. Space for purpose that is aligned. Not emotional leeches, but destiny carriers. Before the party, this is the clean sweep. People who used to call you crazy will soon call you favored. Every word I say to you, my child, my beloved, is being written down on this screen and by the scribe in heaven. Since a divine decree can't be changed once it's spoken, it can only be put off by doubt. That's why I ask, don't doubt this. I understand what your mind might say. How is it going to happen? I do not have the help. I've failed before. But pay attention to what God says back. I am the strong one. I am the way. I am the reason you are still out there. You will see how quickly things start to go your way if you just believe what you are hearing right now. There is a blessing coming your way that doesn't make sense, but it does have your name on it. An unexpected financial breakthrough, a letter of recommendation, a cure that doesn't make sense with medical terms, a door that was locked is about to open because you believed even though it didn't seem possible. There's a reason this message wasn't sent to you sooner. My child, my beloved, you might have shared it with people who secretly wanted you to stay stuck if you had gotten it sooner. That was something God could not let happen. What is being sent out in this message is too holy for casual hearts to handle. The point is not to have fun. It is for height. That's why 5 times it was blocked. That's why there were interruptions every time you were about to hear what heaven had to say. That's not all that caused the delay. In a spiritual way, the enemy got scared when they saw that this message had instructions that could change the whole season. You did it, though. You're here. You can hear it. You got past the interference. Now, something that has been hidden from you for years is being shown to you in divine layers. God has never, ever taken his eyes off of you, my child, my beloved. He just stood there with you when you cried, and no one came to comfort you. He marked your name higher in heaven when it was made fun of and used in the wrong way. When you asked if he had forgotten about you, he was already planning the exact moment this message would finally be passed. You might think this is just another message, but I tell you, it's holy. This is what angels refer to as a timed release, which is a heavenly dispatch that only gets to the soul it belongs to when they are ready to receive it without interference. This message wasn't found by accident. You got on board with it. It came to you through your prayers, your hunger, your late-night questions, and your quiet strength. That's why God is now pulling you into something bigger than you thought possible. Please accept this as proof. This is how you get ready. Now is your chance. Now is the time to subscribe if you haven't already. Keeping up with these prophetic messages will help you stay in line with what God is telling you about this time in your life. When you subscribe, you decide to stay spiritually aware and open to the direction that heaven keeps sending. There were financial blessings that were frozen for you because of the people around you, my child, my beloved. Yes, it was frozen, not denied. Why didn't they show up when you asked? Because God didn't want people who didn't help you plant your crops to eat them. But those links aren't as strong now. The ties between souls have grown weaker, and heaven can see that your spirit is finally clean and ready to receive. That's why your finances are changing right now. It may not show up in your account yet, but it has moved in the spirit world. A divine transaction has been approved. It is being sealed, let go of, and sent toward you. When it comes true, you'll remember this as the moment that made a big difference. When the walls came down, when the curse broke, the moment the block was lifted and the flow began again. My child, my beloved, you are meeting yourself again. Not the one that was agreed upon, not the one that had to wait too long, not the one that was afraid of what other people would think, but the one that remembers why your spirit never really fit where you were told to fold up. The version that is brave in following the rules, quiet in being wise, and firm in telling the truth. That part of you is rising right now. What God has already said about your life can't be stopped by anything. Along the way, you might lose some people, but you'll never lose your safety net. You can cry again, but this time it won't be a cry of defeat. When you finally understand why you had to go through everything, that's when you'll cry. You didn't say anything because you didn't see it, but because you hoped God would fix it before you had to leave. Now pay close attention. The people in heaven heard your silence. Because you were patient, your name is written in places you never thought possible. What's coming to you won't be held up by people who didn't value your loyalty. You still have a destiny, even though they caused you shame. It made you eligible for a kind of favor that can't be taken away by betrayal. Everything led to this voice, to this message, to this truth. Take a moment to say what your faith is before we end. Put, "My season of restoration has begun," in the comments. As you write those words, let them become a statement of faith that everything you've been through has been leading up to this blessing. I saw you, my child and beloved, when no one else did. When you tried to tell them what was going on, they looked at you funny, changed the subject, or made you feel bad for feeling what you felt. But you were always right in what you thought. You were the first to notice the change. Changes in energy, the weight of the words, and the silence that became louder than the talking all at once were all felt. Before you read the last lines of this message, take a moment to think about something important. You are here on purpose. You were led to this point. This isn't a coincidence. Archangel Michael is phoning you personally. He is promising to protect you and welcome you into a holy, higher place where you don't have to chase for abundance. It just happens. This invitation has one holy truth at its heart that is simple but can change your life. When you connect with it, blessings don't just come. They grow, proliferate, and affect every part of your life. You can get strong spiritual teachings and higher direction that most people will never get by deciding to step forward now. You are entering a safe space where you can see things clearly, get support, and get closer to your soul's purpose faster. Don't overlook this tipping point. These kinds of moments don't happen very often, yet they can change things. Your next big idea is already in the works. Use the exclusive link to join Archangel Michael's inner circle, and make sure you keep getting the direct messages that are meant to help you on your journey. The link is in both the description and the pinned remark if you want to delve deeper. There is also a guided ebook available for people who want to help our work grow and continue. It is completely optional. People already regard your attentiveness, presence, and energy very highly. Go ahead and take the next step. The way is clear, and much is waiting for you.